Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and this video is going to be a hero guide for Apothecary, so let's get into it. Alrighty, Apothecary is a support hero in Raid Shadow Legends, and he's one of the best rares in the game. I'll go ahead and pull him up here as we get started. He is in the High Elves, and boom. So yeah, Apothecary is definitely a top 3 rare in the game. I think him and Kale are basically tied for like the best rare in the game. They're the top 2 in my opinion. Some people might disagree, but Apothecary is basically good anywhere, and you can use him in so many different areas. He provides so much utility. So I'll go over his skills and stuff here. A1 is Scatterbolt, attack 3 times at random. So this is going to pair really well with something like Giant Slayer against the clan boss, where it helps out having multiple attacks that hit one enemy. A2 is heal a target by 35% HP, and the heal can be critical. That second part is really good, because if we crit our heal, it's going to heal that much more. Now, it is important to note that getting crit damage does not matter on Apothecary. So if you stack crit damage, that heal is not going to heal more. So because I guess that would need to be like crit healing. For some reason, it doesn't work with crit damage, so getting crit damage on Apothecary means nothing. The crit heal is what it is, and it's just going to crit at that base effect. Alright, so A3 is going to place a 30% increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns, and fill the turn meter of all allies by 15%. That is an incredible ability, and then we can see here with the cooldown, we can get that to 3 turns. So on a 3-turn cooldown, this is just an incredible ability for everywhere from the arena to the clan boss. And then Apothecary has an aura, which is increase ally defense in dungeons by 21%. It's a decent aura. It's nothing great, but I do wish he had a speed aura, obviously, but because speed's probably the best aura, usually, not always, but in most cases. But defense also pairs well with things like lifesteal, which are pretty common, because that means every point that you heal is going to be worth more, because as your defense goes up, you take less damage, so the healing points kind of provide more value. So the defense aura is alright if you don't have something better, but usually you want to go with like speed or something if you're farming dungeons. Okay, and then next, I always make these with my hero guides. So this is kind of an image that I'll have down in the video description that's gonna kind of show you some recommended masteries that I'll go over here a little bit later in the video. The optimal sets are obviously speed, divine speed, HP, or not HP, but life, divine life, and immortal. The stat priority, we want Apoth to have a lot of speed. We want to get him to ideally 200 and above speed, because the more turns he gets, the more he can speed up the whole team, and it's kind of a snowball effect. The more he can boost turn meters and stuff, the more he can heal and kind of sustain and provide a bunch of turns and speed. So you want to get him above 200 speed ideally, and then besides that, you just want life and crit rate and defense. You just want sustain, and then you want to kind of squeeze in some crit rate where you can get it, because obviously his heal can crit. And as far as rare grades, he's basically an A+ everywhere in terms of being a rare. Like I said, he's one of the best rares in the game. I gave him a C- for campaign. He's not a campaign farmer. You're not going to be using him to farm the campaign, but I gave him a C- because he's not useless. On your way to 3-starring the campaign in like hard and brutal, you have to use 2 champions, and you can bring Apoth along as the support champion to help your damage dealer kind of clear the level and complete it in some areas. So he's not completely worthless in the campaign, but definitely you're not going to be using him there very often, but extremely good everywhere else. So let me slide that over here to the side, and then I'll kind of show you my Apothecary, and then I'll probably kind of try to show you how I use him. Apothecary is definitely worth 6-starring, but I have not 6-starred mine yet, because I believe there's other roles that you should be 6-starring first. Apothecary can still do great as a 5-star, so it's not like a super priority to get him to level 60. I would prioritize your campaign farmer to level 60 first, and then after that, probably like your ancillary damage dealers. So, you know, a damage dealer that you're using for dungeons or the arena and stuff like that, I would get them to 60 first and then get Apothecary to 60, which he probably is going to be my next 60. You know, that way I can farm Minotaur 15 just that much faster and maybe stay alive against the clan boss just that little bit more. So definitely worth 6-starring, but I wouldn't rush him to 6-star ahead of like damage dealers that you're using very often. But yeah, I should have clicked on this sooner. Sorry, I was kind of distracted by talking. But yeah, so here's my Apothecary currently. You know, I want to get the boots to level 16. That's very important because generally we want boots that are going to have speed. That is basically mandatory for Apothecary to have speed on your boots. The crit damage is kind of a wasted roll, and you know, it's very rare that you're gonna have perfect gear. You know, for boots you're looking for, you know, like I said in the stat priority, you want speed, HP, crit chance, you know, defense, stuff like that on your boots, but the speed main stat is the main thing to get on your boots for Apothecary. For the chest, you're probably going to want HP, and I don't have a good chest with HP percentage. That's probably what you would want, but the nice thing about having the HP main stat is you can get the HP percentage as a substat. So you know, this armor is not bad for Apothecary. It's definitely not perfect, but it'll do. Gloves, there's a couple different routes you can go. You know, these gloves rolled a triple speed roll, so I was like, oh, definitely. You can go with crit rate, you know, or something else here, but I like to have that heal crit pretty often, and these gloves rolling the triple speed was just insane. So and they have the HP and the defense, so, and they're 5-star. So I mean, these gloves are incredible, especially for someone like Apothecary. These are definitely end game level gloves for Apothecary, so that's probably my best gear set, and I'm probably gonna wait to take them to 16 until there's an artifact leveling event, is so that way at least I'm getting something for spending all that silver, because you know, it's not mandatory for me to get that to level 16 yet. And then, you know, the top slots, your weapon, your helm, and your shield, those kind of, they roll the same main stats every time, so it's the same drill. You want speed, crit rate, HP, defense, stuff like that. So, you know, we'll see here that I did get to exactly the 200 speed on Apothecary on mine here, and I would like to get that, you know, up a little bit more, even just to give him that many more turns. And yeah, so I'll show you kind of how I use him. So when we go into the arena, you know, first of all, let me, you know, look here. So when I fight in the arena, I'm looking to fight somebody who doesn't have a speed aura. So I kind of glance, you can see the person on the far left is their leader. And you can look at the banner here. This little banner means a speed aura, and this is Gorgorab. I would ideally like to stay away from this team here. I don't even have to look at the team power. It's just something I wouldn't really want to fight. And then my team is mainly magic, so I want to stay away from force. So just kind of scrolling through here, you know, looking for something that I would fight. I could go with something like this here, and then. So this is the way I have my arena team set up, is I got the speed aura on Spirit Host, and this isn't like a super end game arena team by any stretch of the imagination, but this is a really good kind of mid-tier, you know, gold 1, gold 2 arena team. I need to get more legendaries and more epics to like level 60 and stuff before I can really build my end game arena team. But if you're looking to get into gold, doing something like this, especially if you have Apothecary, can be really good. So I got my speed aura on Spirit Host. I use Apothecary as my main, as my highest speed, so he's going to go first, and then he's going to boost the speed and fill the turn meter of everybody else. And so in this battle, I should definitely be going first, and then once I've got my two burst damage dealers going, the fight will be over. So, you know, this is kind of how Apothecary works in the arena. We'll see him kind of automatically boom, and then a buff, and then boom, boom, burst him down. And this is kind of a really good team setup using Apothecary that can help you really speed farm the arena. You know, I can burn through my 10 tokens in like a couple minutes. Just, you know, this type of bursty team is really good with Apothecary because of that turn meter fill. And that's why if you're going to use Apothecary in the arena, you definitely want him to go first, because he's going to help your other team get their actions in ASAP. So yeah, that's why speed is so important on Apothecary, because of that turn meter boost and snowballing the turns. He's also good in a lot of the dungeons. You can basically use him anywhere. He's kind of just an all-around really good support. I can't really think of somewhere that he'd be bad in. So yeah, Apothecary is just kind of an incredible rare that you should definitely invest in and look to acquiring. Last thing I'll kind of do is go over his masteries, because there's a couple things I wanted to point out about Apothecary's masteries. Since his A1 attacks 3 times, it's probably optimal to go for Giant Slayer. You know, even though he's not an offense character, I would recommend going with offense and support. The defense tree is a little bit underwhelming right now. I'm hoping they kind of buff it or redesign it in a certain way. So, you know, unless it's somebody like Rhine Beast, who's just, you know, an only arena defense hero, you know, then you might go support and defense. But if you're ever going to use them for, like, you know, dungeon farming and clan boss and stuff, Giant Slayer can be pretty good. So we would go with War Master if he didn't have a 3 attack A1, but he does, so we're gonna go with Giant Slayer. And then, you know, none of these are super helpful other than like the crit rate, but we have to get to Giant Slayer, so this is just kind of the route that I went here. As far as the support tree, this is all pretty set in stone in terms of what you should do, except for right here. Like a 5%, you can either go with Cycle of Magic or Evil Eye. The Evil Eye is going to be a little bit better for like the arena, and the Cycle of Magic is going to be a little bit better for like dungeons and clan boss. So it just kind of depends what you're thinking there and where you're going to use him more. I was really struggling, but I wanted him to be good in the arena, and this is going to help out just a little bit. Neither one of them are going to be super impactful. But, you know, this one, the Lasting Gifts, is one that you really need to get to for Apoth. That's like the big one to get down here into this tree, and then we only get to pick one on the bottom, and I'm gonna go with Giant Slayer just to make him that much better in the clan boss fight and dungeons and stuff. So yeah, that's kind of the general gist of Apothecary, and like I said, I will have that image down in the video description that you can kind of pull up and see everything. And if you have any questions, drop it down in the comments, or if I forgot any important things about Apoth, definitely let me know. I always like to you know, hear you guys' input. So yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.